Back with another video. Today we've got you guys a new subwoofer line that we are releasing from Moegneto Audio. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump on it. We've had released the XPL, which is our lower profile, all carbon cone, carbon dust cap subwoofer, and that was rated for 400 watts RMS. Those have been doing really well. The XPL line, which is 1,000 watt RMS, 3-inch voice coil subwoofer that I just love. In fact, that's kind of my daily driver now, and I'm just, the more I listen to it on a daily basis, the more I fall in love with it. So, but you guys asked for more power, and so we are releasing this new line. This is going to be the XPL-12. So higher power, bigger in every aspect, still 3-inch voice coil. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get this unboxed. We call this the 12-inch Moegneto MA12XPL-4D. So this is going to be a dual 4 ohm voice coil, 3-inch voice coil. This is an aluminum voice coil, 4-layer wrapped on the aluminum former as well for the higher power handling. So let's go ahead and get this in. It's a beast. All right. There we go. All right. Let's unbox this. So of course, you get your stickers and you get all the fancy stuff. It comes well packaged as always. And let's get this stuff here. All right. So here it is, folks. Let me zoom in a little bit on this. So 12-inch high power. This is built on the TI frame, so the popular TI frame. You've seen these, very popular, well respected in the community. We've got a cast aluminum frame, the TI frame, massive magnet back here. So let's just kind of go through some of the features of it. So overall surround, we do use the same dust cap as the XPL line that we've got. Very sturdy, non-pressed paper cone, double stitched around the cone and the surround. Got the famous rubber gasket here as well for mounting purposes. Again, I'm a big fan of these. Measurements. So this baby comes in, let's see, it approximately, is it 8 inches or 9 inches? So mounting depth, we're gonna measure this here. Let me see if I'm in a picture frame, maybe zoom out just a bit here. There we go. All right, so, yep, mounting depth in a traditional enclosure is gonna be 8 inches. Let's flip it over. All right, so from the side, what we'll see here is we've got double stitched leads for every single polarity. So on the plus, you've got double stitched flat leads. On the negative, you've got double stitched flat leads into the spider. I believe this is a 9.5-inch spider landing with the spider ring. You've got the 8-gauge push spring terminals, and I've got my 8-gauge wire here so we can test it. A little bit oversized for a little bit more than 8 gauge. So as you can see, fits in just fine. I'd probably fit a little bit more. I do have the 4-gauge here. Let me try it. Probably overkill to run 4-gauge. And yeah, it's just a bit undersized for 4-gauge. So definitely 8-gauge or even potentially 6-gauge push spring terminals. They are color coded on the side here as well as the bottom. All right, so let me flip this puppy over here. All right, so zoom out a little bit. There we go. Sorry guys, maybe I'm just not strong enough for this. All right, so you've got them color coded here on the bottom. The push spring terminals, nice painted TI frame, again all aluminum. So I've got my handy got my handy magnet, and as you can see, sticks to the magnet but not the frame itself. So all aluminum frame to keep it kind of lightweight, and again it's very sturdy and helps also with heat dissipation. Again, as the motor gets hot, it's going to try to dissipate that heat through the surrounding environment. Obviously metal is going to provide the path of least resistance. Vented bowl and vented bottom plate, pretty big bottom plate here as you can see. So let's take a measurement of this. From boot edge to edge, you're talking about 9 inches. The bottom plate itself looks to be about 8 1/4 inch. So very respectable. This is a 3-slug motor. As you can see here, as I remove the rubber motor cover to protect the magnets. So we've got 3 slugs on this motor. Pretty respectable again for the high power handling. So right now this is currently rated at approximately 1500 watts RMS to 2000 watts RMS in its enclosure. It is not recommended for free air or infinite baffle setup, but for this power rating, probably underrated, but I think it's a little bit more conservative just given what's out there in the market. Again, 3-inch voice coil, 4-layer aluminum on an aluminum former, massive magnet, 9.5-inch spider. These things are powerhouses. So peak power, which again, those vary from what you're doing, whether it's competition or just transient bass notes. You know, it's going to be double the RMS power there as well. But overall, very, very pleased with this. Let's see, we took the mounting depth, we got the motor diameter. Let's do some weight on this puppy here. And let's see if my scale can handle it. Should. Let's get this zeroed out. And let's get this on here. All right, so reading about 35.4 ounces, 35 pounds, 4 ounces. So definitely getting your money's worth here. Very pleased with this. We haven't been able to really keep our entire stock. As soon as we got the pallet, we've pretty much sold half of them here locally to local dealers, as well as some just customers and clients that we've got. So very, very, very impressed. I'm not sure. Let me try to take the phone off here and take a little bit closer view. As you can see, so there you see we've got the non-pressed paper cone. We've got our cooler red spider. Other measurements for this. So let's look at the TS parameters. So VAS on this is going to be about 31 liters, which is a little bit over, I think, a 1.2 cubic feet or so. And the resonance frequency on this is pretty impressive. It's 27.9 hertz. So let's just say 28 hertz on this. So 1.2 cubic feet to get 28 hertz is pretty impressive. The recommended enclosure for this is approximately 2 cubic feet in a ported box, tuned to about 32, anywhere from 32 to 36 hertz would be ideal. So again, you get also on the voice coil, you'll see there, you've got the 4-layer high temperature voice coil, but it's also vented again for additional venting. And that's the great thing about these TI frames. Got a lot of venting, a lot of opening to be able to help dissipate some of that heat in the surrounding environment. So overall, really good subwoofer. Really, really pleased with this. I think for the price point. So right now we're listing these for $250 each locally. As far as shipping, we just got these in, so I'm guessing that probably shipping is going to jump that price up another $20 or so, folks. Yeah, so I think the next thing let's get this on the bench. Let's run some free air and look at some of the excursion. I've got a box coming in, go ahead and mount it in, excuse me. And we'll also do some power through that, take some videos of it. So stay tuned, here we go. All right guys, so got it here on the bench. Just gonna go ahead and try to break in this subwoofer. Same setup as all my other setups. So what I'm gonna run it off of 500 watts RMS Hertz amplifier here. It's wired in parallel, so I've got 8 gauge wired with both voice coils there. So it is wired to 2 ohm at the moment. I'm gonna play a 20 hertz tone, excuse me, and let's get this moving. So right now we got about 10 amps going to the amplifier, so multiply that by approximately 10. It's about 100 watts RMS going through now. So just getting it flexed, getting all the soft parts moving and broken in. So let's crank up the power a little bit. Let's double that. So that's about 300 watts RMS. And you can see pretty good movement here. Very quiet. Good air movement. Look at the excursion on this. It's already 300 watts RMS. Doesn't look like it's doing much at the moment. So pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Always fascinated with all electronics, especially car audio. So let's see if we can crank it up a little bit more. So power's dropping up a little bit. So let's see if we can go a bit higher. 300. 330. How much more can you give me? 350. Any more out of this amplifier? Alright, so 350 watts RMS. You can see really smooth, really quiet. Look at the excursion. Love it. Measurements going over here of the cone, hopefully dissipating some of that heat. And so what are we seeing here? Seeing about 84 degrees in the middle. All right, let's look at the triple joint here, and this is neat because now we've got the exposed coil, so we can really get some good measurements here. All right. See, it's jumping all over the place. So 208, so getting nice and warm, like it. Again, these free air tests are pretty aggressive on these subwoofers, guys. I've seen a lot of videos out there, obviously some really good videos from reputable audio heads and bass heads, and they really are putting these to the extreme. A lot of good brands are getting damage. We've seen some audio brands from like B2, some lower budget ones like Slaps as well, really going through these tests and just basically breaking. So not recommended for free air, not recommended for infinite battle. Get these in a box, use them as they're intended, and get that good bass, good sound quality out of them. So wow, really like the fact that you can see the excursion on the FLIR. Pretty cool. All right, let's look over here. What do we got? So getting up there, reading about 235 or so. Wonder how accurate that is. But it should be warm, right? It's a lot of current. So I don't smell anything, which is always a good thing. Don't feel anything either on the back. Obviously a good air movement. It's not concentrated, so I don't have little tiny holes where the air is really pulling out of, but you can definitely feel it here. I'll put my mic a little bit closer, especially to the exit. Probably hear that. We're really impressed with how quiet it is, to be honest with you. And currently I'm just kind of pushing my little test bed to its current limit before I get it all set up. I do have some lithium batteries, got the super cap, and I'll be updating my test bed for various future tests. So pretty cool, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Please hit that like, share button, subscribe, share with your friends, let them know. If you have any questions, visit our website, Moegneto.com. You'll see specifications and all the other information we've got from Moegneto on there. We also have our social media attached, so feel free to visit those pages, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. But really excited to kind of bring this out. Let's do a couple more videos, so we'll get some slow-mos, and then I'm gonna go ahead and mount this in a box for you guys, and let's do some windy tests, see how windy it gets in an enclosure. Alright guys, so got it all mounted in a box. Pretty cool enclosure here, kind of ideal for this subwoofer. So overall volume, this is a little bit over 2 cubic feet, so probably 2.1 after displacement. And then the port itself, we've got the side shooting port here. So I think it's closer to about 36, 37 Hertz that it is tuned to. So let's go ahead and play some 20 Hertz cycling through this box and see what it sounds like. And let's go from there. So right now, what do I got? Got about 4 amps through the input at the moment, so 40 watts or so. So let's crank this up a little bit. And let's get some excursion on this puppy. So about 300 watts RMS here. And let's look at this port side, look like how windy it's getting. That much better. I think this is just gonna sound great. I'm excited to kind of get this in my truck and let you guys see how it sounds, the excursion, and all the stuff that it rattles. So let's see if we can get a little bit more power out of this here. Let's see if I can get closer to just see how much volume you guys are, how much air really. I've got this clip holding it in place. It's not really doing it justice, but it's definitely a lot of movement. Let's see if I can crank it up a little bit more here. A couple more clicks and that's the most I'm going to get out of this amplifier in this setup for now. Again, I'm going to be setting it up a little bit for a higher power test bed. But between then and now, I'm going to go ahead and connect this to the truck. Since I can't fit it in my existing box, it's just too deep, too big of a subwoofer, and so I'll just put this box in there momentarily without the kids in the back. So awesome stuff, man. Really like how it's moving. Love how smooth it is. But look at that excursion, guys. This is only about 300 watts or so going through this subwoofer. All right, let's get in the truck and see what it sounds like. I'm chasing Shabbat and the chiller. I really know niggas